Well, thank you, Anil, for helping with my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
What do I tell about myself? My name is Anil Lula. I have come to United States a few years back. I have settled down here in Houston. I love this place. Um, I've started. I do a little bit of my own business, a transport business, trucking business. Uh, I'm settling down in my business. I would say pretty early to say that I'm already established. No, uh, that's about it. I think I'm here with my wife, and I'm happy here. Mm, I have lots of friends like you around the area, and I'm very happy with them. I enjoy my weekends with my friends. Yeah, that's it about me.
And you throw great parties. That's another
The
thing.
Bollywood, yeah, we enjoy those Bollywood parties. We do that a lot. We love those. Yeah,
Uh, yeah, and with the games and with the karaoke and
exactly.
great food, friendly dog.
Yeah, my poor little dog. Yeah, she's good. I have good friends. That's what it is all about. You have good friends. They enjoy that. That's what's counts. Rest everything is secondary, I believe.
That's uh, that's that's an important lesson to learn. Sometimes I know I get a little bit too wrapped up in work and I don't really um, hadn't really figured out the other aspects of life. So like, I get, um, well, I let's see. I'm doing this project where I'm interviewing a person a day to the end of 2024, which was the year that NASA was planning to land people back on the moon for the first time since 1972. I was wondering if you had heard about this.
I heard about it a little bit, but I'm not following up too much on it. But yes, I've heard a little bit about that, and yeah, from you as well. But not following it. No, I don't know any details about it. How is it? What is it? I have no idea on that side.
I know it's a little bit different circumstances now than it was back in 1969 whenever we first landed on the moon. Back then we were in this big Cold War conflict with the Soviet Union, and
Yeah,
people saw it as being like a contest between um, countries. And now uh, people just see it as something that we did before, and it's not really as uh, important as maybe it was back then in the context of things.
yeah, agree, right, very much, yeah.
But what do you think about it? I mean, is it something that you find interesting, or is it something that you're like, oh my gosh, there's the government again wasting money? Like, what do you think?
I think even somehow I feel that the Earth will depletes its resources, and then finally we'll have to find a place to go out. Maybe not when we are around, but maybe the future generations will have another dimension, another place where they could go to and have a choice to live there. I feel that this would come maybe some years later, but I think this is the first small step into that direction where the research is done. They will go out there, find out what's possible. Probably in another 40, 50 years, it'll be established, and there will be a way to sustain human life on space somewhere, and if not moon, but somewhere else. But you never know. I mean, moon could be an option. There could be some stars or moons. You never know, right? That's what I feel.
It'd definitely be a cool place to go for a vacation. Just
Yeah,
getting to
yeah,
see
something
the.
like that. Yeah, maybe just for going for a long vacation, just go away, watch it from there, look at the earth from there. Yeah, I mean anything is possible, I feel.
I I was listening to a book yesterday, and it was a fictional book, and it was talking about the first life forms to make it from the oceans onto land. Um, one thought is that maybe it was like a fish of some type, and when
Yeah.
it got on land, it essentially ceased being a fish. And the author was make an
Mhm.
analogy saying that whenever humanity actually makes it into space and starts living there on a regular and permanent basis, that those humans will sort of cease to be like the humans that we have back here on Earth. I was wondering what you thought about that.
Sorry, I had a call. So
Oh, no worries. How do you think going to space will change humanity?
evolution, as you said, we will cease to be humans. Of course, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes hundreds and thousands of years to evolve. Evolution will take its own course, and humans will eventually change, who will be living out, out of the earth into space, or moon, or wherever it is. People in uh, different places in space will have different characteristics, physical characteristics, and which would be, I think, easily recognizable, uh, you know, on the features, and people would be able to say, "Hey, you're from the moon, or no, you're from X star, or you're from wherever, Saturn, Uranus." It'll be like that. So it'll be easy to recognize people because evolution will take its own course. So that's what I feel. It will be that way.
Well, and I think what you're saying has been historically true, that seeing the changes in different species has happened over, thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, largely because it was somewhat of a trial and error thing, right? Because you would have certain animals that had traits that helped them survive better or get more food or uh, other things than other animals, like
Yeah.
birds with longer beaks were able to get more insects out of tree trunks than birds with shorter
Yeah.
beaks or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but shorter beaks have their own, advantages. They can easily tear the flesh up, like the owl, the eagle, yeah, the falcon.
Oh, exactly.
So,
A lot of it also depends upon how the other animals and environments changing too, but that's been largely sort of like a trial and error thing. But in the 1990s, we first sequenced the human genome. In the 2000s, we started creating these huge databases of genes and studies to see how the genes relate to characteristics. And now with the technology of CRISPR, we're able to actually inject new genes and take out genes from living organisms. And so
mhm.
there's now we could kind of be intentional in terms of how we actually change ourselves. It's no more uh, natural trial and error that's happening over thousands of years. It could be trial and error that happens literally over years and decades.
Yeah. Sorry, there was a call. I couldn't hear the last part of your
Yeah,
message.
yeah, no worries. Now that we're able to actually edit the genetic information, maybe that speeds up the whole transition process, the whole editing process. And what do you think about that?
Sorry, I lost you
Oh,
because my mind went into something else because the call was coming in. So I was kind of thinking, why was the call coming in? Sorry, I'm losing you.
well, I mean, in terms of natural evolution, it happens over, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years because it's like a trial and error thing that is somewhat random. But with our ability now to like sequence people's genetics, take genes from one organism and put them into another using technologies like CRISPR, that trial and error can actually happen intentionally, where we say, we want to give people the ability to, process this protein. We can now take the gene that allows for you to process that protein and actually give it to people without it necessarily coming from their parents. Actually, insert it directly into that living organism. And I was wondering, this ability to sort of edit our own genetics really changes the speed at which transitions and changes can happen. I was wondering what you thought about that, if it's something that you see as as being promising or scary or unlikely? I mean, what's your thoughts?
Uh, this is in connection with space you're referring to, or is just general?
Just general. I mean, I guess the connection with space was we were talking about whenever people go to space that they would change. And,
Right.
the thought would be originally that that change would happen over a long period of time. But it could also be that we purposely make those changes happen. Um,
So yeah, in connection with space, I mean that this would be an option where this the new technology in science where as you said we could transfer whatever we need, whatever type of species we want to create. That'll be, I think, trial and error for space, especially because we don't have any kind of species here we know that could survive in space. So we'll have to probably take some and see how they survive out there, and do a lot of experiments, do a lot of checks on them, and if they are able to survive, then we could do this you know trial. But generally speaking, I would say it's not right to change nature just like that, just because we want.
and-
Sorry, the calls keep coming because of the daytime, right? Not
oh,
working time.
yeah,
So
I understand. Sorry about that too.
mm, so oh yeah.
But
Oh, come on. Yeah, so uh where were we? I lost.
oh, you were saying you don't think it's right to change nature just because you can.
Yeah, I think it's only if it's extremely necessary, that we should do it. Otherwise, it's not right, I feel, to do that. I mean, just because we want a superhuman being, we try to experiment and make the changes. I don't think we should do that. I think nature has its own course, and we should let nature do what it needs to, rather than us trying to experiment and find the superhuman being. So that's my call on this. This is what I think is the way to go.
Yeah, I think a lot of people share that same view. Well, okay, I know you're kind of short on time, so I got one last question for you. If you could, would you go to space?
Uh, yeah, why not? Why not? I could go to space if it's possible, and if it's reasonable, and if it's possible to survive there. Uh, I don't know whether it's adventure or vacation, what, but I would love to do that. Why not? Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, and I appreciate you so much. You making time for this, Anil, and I look forward to meeting up with you again soon. Maybe later
Yeah.
today if the lights don't come back on.
Yeah. If they don't come back, give me a call, and you're always welcome here. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, that's assuming my phone still works. I might just show up at the doorstep.
Yeah. You can show up at the doorstep also. Doesn't matter.
Awesome.
Mm.
Well,
Mm.
you have a good rest of your day.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And there were no calls since morning, and they just started coming up.
Well,
I'm sorry
anytime that
about that.
anytime it gets slow, just ring me up so we can bring them on.
Yeah. Sure. All righty.
Okay, bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Nathan. Bye bye.